Good evening, everybody. It is headline feature announcement time. It's happening in 2 minutes. Football Manager have announced that they will be releasing the headline features for this year's upcoming game. Thank you very much, everybody, for coming in. It's not a bug, it's a feature. Exactly, CT, exactly. Hope you guys are all doing well. We are tuning in, hoping for better graphics and possibly a new better goalkeeper roles. Yeah, let me know in the chat what you guys think we are going to be doing. Octo, Hermes, Alpha, Furkan, CT, welcome one and all, chaps. I wasn't actually planning on streaming this evening, but you know, when things are here, you may as well get everything going. Evening, Balin. New regen faces. Miles looks different this year. Yeah, I know, right? I'm getting in there ahead of him. How you doing, Pumpster, mate? Well, we're ready. That's a start. Let me know what you would like to see, guys. Obviously, they've said via here that they are going to announce it on YouTube. Ignore the fact that this says Hi Kieran. It was sent to me by my good friend Murph FM. Low block tactic, maybe. Lazar, how you doing, my friend? Using a different format for the Club World Cup from FM Scout and trying to use it as Palmeiras. Okay, nice. Victor, welcome, my friend. Welcome. One and all, everybody, welcome in. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you very much for joining. I do appreciate it. They've said that they are going to be releasing it on YouTube, and I've got their YouTube here right now. So let me know in the comments or in the chat what you guys would like to see in this year's FM. Hey, Josh, how you doing, brother? Regens be looking like my granddad. Wow. To be honest, there's a lot of graphical improvements that they could do, but what do you think the new feature will be? Honestly, I have no idea. I'd love to see a new role. Would be great. Join your Discord last year. Thank you very much, Victor. Thank you very much. Do you reckon they're going to drop it bang on 7? That's the official announcement trailer, which was only a minute long. We'll continue to refresh. It's got 124,000 views, this bad boy. Jesus. I don't have space for Zealand's face pack on my Macs. I've been stuck with Unibrow Legends for months. Yeah, Z's is very impressive, that one. I have it myself. Very impressive. Will dynamic potential ever be a thing? I hope so, Access. I hope so. Better set pieces, World Cup and tactic overhaul. Tactic overhaul as well. Jeez. Tactical overhaul will be interesting. I want more done with set pieces. Hopefully regens don't look like aliens again. Oliver, I hear what you're saying, brother. I hear what you're saying. Yeah, a new role would be sick, honestly. A new role would be sick. FM Academy, hello fellas. New and improved set pieces, better international management, and the introduction of San Marino League as a playable league. That would be cool. But what would it be? Who knows? Who knows? Who bloody knows? They used to have a role where it was like right up in the corner. That would be cool. Like right up in the top right hand side. Bloody hell, 170 of you guys here. Fuck. Guys, whilst you are here, please do like the live stream. Does help out being on the old red brand. SJH Sports, welcome, mate. Not so secret, hello, my sir. My sir? Hello, how are we? Hopefully they give us something, like more. Do you know what I mean? What do you think to the trailer? Yeah, it's alright. I loved FM23 Access Gaming. It's the best value for money you can ever spend on a video game, in my opinion. Obviously, we've got this stuff here, just rapidly refreshing. I'm in Cyprus, it's 9 PM. Well, they are about to drop. Still not happened yet. Can't wait for this. Yeah, me too, Hill Project. In Turkey, it's 9 PM here. Dying for the option on corner tactics to whip it to the other flank. That'd be cool. I'd like the actual ability to put someone over there myself and just in case the ball is cleared over to that side. Like if you're taking a corner on the left, having someone on the opposite side. The video's dropped apparently. Okay, where? As I don't see it. Here we go. 42 minutes. Friggin' hell.
Hello everybody, I'm 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 and I'm here at Sports Interactive today to learn about
Here we go,
the
chat.
5 key headline features for Football Manager.
Yeah, it's a big boy. Watching from the USA, nice.
Again, I'll be speaking to several people within the studio to
Go on,
discuss
𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪.
this year's new additions, the work that goes into bringing them together, and how these features will improve your FM experience. First up is a man who needs no introduction, Studio Director Miles Jacobson.
Woo! Go Miles! Director of Football Mode would be nice. That would be true,
Miles,
Charlie.
good to
That would
see
be
you
cool.
again.
Great to see you too.
Welcome, although really you should be welcoming me. Let's talk about the working practices.
Of course, the dogs are going crazy here.
Because a year ago we spoke and the world was a very, very different place. How has it changed for you?
Well, it's been another interesting, challenging year for sure. I mean, you know, the pandemic.
Evening, Ronnie. Hope you're doing well.
It's still been affecting us as a studio. We've still had people off.
We're going to sit and watch this whole thing, I think.
During it, and we have once again had another year of growth and hiring lots of new people into the studio, which has been...
Shout out Sweet Left Foot and Holly Plays.
Good to have new colleagues, and
Ooh.
some of those have been working on FM23, some of them are working
Look
on
at this.
future projects as well.
More gear for your person.
It's also been a year of success for us. FM22 has been played by more people than have played an FM game before, with well over 3 million people playing the game.
So what have we got here? They've done chapters.
Copies of it as well, which is great.
They've done
Obviously,
chapters,
to make another
chat.
one, which is awesome. That's why we're still here today.
Evening, Kai.
Recruitment has been one of the most enhanced areas of FM23.
What are the chapters?
How has
Recruitment revamp, match AI and animation, Champions League stuff or UEFA stuff, supporter confidence, dynamic manager timeline. Okay.
So we talk a lot about how we talk to football clubs.
Oh,
about
hey,
data
Holly.
And
Hello.
The way that they're using data, have done for many, many years. But what we've done...
Turn up the volume of Miles, yeah.
Actually spoken to them more about how they are using the data directly. So from
That's
their
Miles at
perspective, how
full. That's
they
it
are
at full
looking
volume, guys.
at
Just so you know.
finding players, with the data that they have, rather than how we can help them find players with our data. So we've spent a lot of time talking to people who work in recruitment in football clubs, which we've always done anyway. But as the studio's grown, rather than it being me or a few other people in the studio who know people at clubs going and talking to them, we've tried to bring that closer to everyone in the studio. And so every month we interview someone from the football world.
That's cool.
But do it very differently to the way that journalists do it, because journalists want to find headlines and stories to be able to put out there to get people to click on their articles, right? And
True.
to go and watch them.
Good old journos.
What all we're interested in is real life football and the features that we are working on. So we basically ask these people, and they might be managers, they might be data analysts, coaches. We had England under-21 manager the other week, directors of football. We're asking them questions directly about what they do that are specific to features that we're working on, some of which are in FM23, some maybe in future games if we get to make them.
Teasing.
Which hopefully you will do.
Of course you will, Miles. Of course you
And
will.
it's become a really important thing inside the studio. So with the recruitment features, it's been a case.
I've just got to say, chat, this set looks absolutely phenomenal. As someone who's got a broadcast journalism degree, it's done very, very nicely.
Actually buy and sell the players on a daily basis, so the directors of football, the technical directors, the sporting directors, but trying to get much closer to the reality of the day-to-day of what goes on in those departments. But also, how often do you have meetings with the manager? How often do you have meetings with the owner? And the different structures that go in football. So that's been a really important part of what...
I will say learning this stuff firsthand is actually so vital. Having worked in a football club myself, it's absolutely crazy.
Absolutely. So lovely to chat to you again. I'm excited to play the game myself and excited to talk about these new features.
Go on, James.
With some of your guys in the next few minutes. Thanks for chatting with me.
Thanks.
Recruitment revamp. Here we go, chat.
Right then, guys, let's get into the
Feature
juicy
number
new
one.
features. Cyrus joins me right now, game designer, and you've got some good stuff here to tell me about. 4 key aspects, guys, that we're going to talk about here. Cyrus, Let's kick off with the first one. We've got 3 key elements and then something that brings it all together right at the end. So stick around, guys. First up is the squad planner. Tell us about the squad planner.
Yeah, so the squad planner, as you would guess from the name, it's all about helping you plan your recruitment out for the season. So if we take a step back and think about, how, why did we bring in the squad planner? We were trying to assess how a manager looks at recruitment, what are the key stages of that process for them. So the way it'll work is we've got a brand new area, squad planner. When
Game looks nice right off the rip.
Your whole team, right? And then based on your tactic, every single position, you're going to have
Try and find new things, chat. New things. Try and find it.
How good they are. And it's important to know this is kind of like a safe space, right? So it's like your secret book, right? Your key striker's not going to get upset when you put him 5th ranked because he'll never know. Right, but your staff will know, and they can then start making, suggestions based on.
That's
what
good to know.
Looks like.
And I can actually
So
plan for the future.
You can rank all your players. You can see how they look. You can start visualizing where you're strong, maybe where you're weak, and as the planner suggests, start planning for that season. Some of the really cool things is a bit like a dream team when you're planning.
Okay, I'm just going to pause it here just for a super quick look. So winger, DLF, AP, nothing new thus far. Okay,
maybe
carry on.
Just the players. Maybe you've got long-term targets that you're thinking.
Time and data displayed differently, yeah.
This new midfielder.
The little rip here.
Shortlist can be brought into your planner.
EPs, welcome, my friend.
You bring them into your planner. You can rank them, see how they compare
to
your current team. But also we do that with youth, right? So any youth player that you've got, you can bring in and see. And talking about youth, we don't only have a current season planner, we have a next season planner and a season after planner.
Okay, so you get a 3-year
thinking
progression.
Long-term, how is my team going to look in 2 seasons' time from now? The idea is hopefully you've given you as much information as possible.
I hope new signings fit into that so you can see it immediately.
Into that next phase, which is planning out exactly what you're going to do.
You know, like when you go and sign like that wonder kid from Colombia and they can't join until they're 18, that sort of thing, we need that.
Yeah, under this umbrella of recruitment that's had a real shot in the arm this year with the game. Let's talk about scouting because that's the second
I think that will be the default skin. I don't see why it wouldn't be.
There's a whole raft of changes here. First one, recruitment focuses. There's been a real change on this one, isn't there?
So the idea is now we've switched from assignments to this concept of recruitment focuses. So they work in a very similar way. Your chief scout, if you leave them fully responsible, will base off setting up different focuses based on what they think's best. At any time, you can come in and say,
Again, still, this all looks really clean. I'm a massive fan of the blue, 100%. Like, obviously, like, you can tell by the lights behind me, I think it's a really, really nice colour. I know that sounds stupid to say, but this does look really nice. Looks really clean. I'm still going to pause to try and see if I can find anything new.
I want this focus
at any point.
Set up, and you can set a bunch of parameters. Position, role, PACA, height, bunch of different things, and they will then go off and start searching for that type of player.
Because essentially you're saying this is an ability.
Players in shortlist can be added. Okay, that's awesome, Hermes. Good spot.
Which is a big part of FM these days. It's not just you anymore because the game's moved on. So in terms of it affecting your inbox, which cause sometimes there are, I'm guilty of it myself at times, going da-da-da-da-da-da. There's going to be a strong effect on the inbox?
Yeah, well, the idea is to just reduce the noise a little bit, right? As you said, you get that, what we sometimes call like spacebar fever, right? Like, 25 reports. First 2, 3, maybe you pay attention to, but like most things, by the 23rd, I'm clicking through.
You know me so well.
Yeah,
True.
Right. So the idea is now that
True.
Your inbox is something that we should be careful about what we put in there, right? So
it's the same game with UEFA license and fancier menus. Maybe, we'll see. We'll see, Miguel.
They've hit the maximum they're going to know on a player, and then they say, this is everything we've got on this guy. It's up to you now, based on this information, where you want to go.
So percentages have gone?
So percentages have gone completely. Yeah.
Okay.
We no longer say this guy's at 88% player knowledge.
Good.
And the main reason for that is we just want it to be super clear.
Yeah, Gerald, this will just stay as a video after.
Yes, you are. So previously, you could scout a player, and he could get to 30%, and maybe you've spent 2 weeks on scouting that player. But then there might be another player that you've done no scouting on 65%. That might be because his reputation's super high, or they're playing in the same league as you, so you naturally know more about them. And we felt that sometimes that's a bit disconnecting, especially when you're sifting through reports. You're like, well,
not yet, Shiny, not yet.
Got left to go.
Praying for more, though. Always praying for more.
So what we wanted to make it sure is that We'll make it really clear how far along the process you are so that you know which information is actionable. So you hit your inbox, you get told this is an extensive report, meaning we're not going to be doing anything more on this. Now it's up to you. Do you want to make this decision or not?
I assume,
essentially, the scouts now do.
I hope you can tick the box that says keep this up to date every 3 months as well. That'd be really useful.
And now your team will go grab a big bunch of players that potentially fit that. And at each of the 4 stages, they're going to find out a little bit more about these players and start whittling that list down. So by the end of it, you've got a more refined list of players that have all hit extensive reports that fit what you've been asking for or what your chief scout thinks you need.
I think that's cool.
What it allows us to do is give you players that more fit what you're needing, but also it gives us this nice ability to say, at the last stage, we now have this concept of near misses. So when you go to your scouting centre,
I gotta say, I love the way he's doing this. It's like an hourglass figure on a woman.
We've revamped how that looks, right? So now you go there, you have an overview page, which gives you a great bunch of information. You get some recommended players. We've even put like a sort of guided direction. Maybe you're not sure what you should be doing. You can get little tips. Maybe you want to hire more scouts. Maybe you want, this focus might be finished. Maybe you want to set up a different type. But when you go to the recruitment focus page specifically, you can select any of the focuses that are set up.
That hasn't been announced yet, Leroy. Fingers crossed, though. That would be a cool feature for sure.
That have dropped out at the last second. So potentially, from whatever criteria you've set, they've just missed out. A bit too tall.
Again, anything new here? I'm looking for like anything that probably shouldn't be announced, like a position or like anything like that. All of this down the side looks the same. Squad plan has obviously been introduced. Everything else looks the same though so far.
Bit too old. You know, maybe you've asked for guys that hit 80% pass completion rate and this guy hit 74. So then it gives you a chance that if no one in that list is really doing it for you, you can go to this extra place and see, oh, okay, you know, maybe I thought I really wanted something, but this actually is now, you know, I'm happy to compromise.
So you're catering for, you know, the laissez-faire FM managers, but also those guys who want that control, that, you know, no one's missing, you know, through the net. You've got people with those near misses.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's move on to part 3 of this, which is agents. Now, we've chatted with Miles about
Evening, Mike. Here you go, Leroy. This is it. This is your agent, like talking to people, chat.
Always being implemented into the game. You're always analysing the game itself to try and make FM as immersive as possible. And agents have become a stronger and stronger part of it. And you've moved it on again. Their influence is being seen in this game this year, isn't it?
I mean, agents can be a bit controversial. Like, love them or loathe them.
They're in world football. Yeah, they're in the game. They're in football. It's happening.
They're not going anywhere at all. And the reality is, any deal to do with a top player, I mean, any contract, transfer, that agent's the first point of contact.
100%.
That's who gets called first to see how it's going to go. So what we've done is evolve that. So now when you go talk to an external player and you talk to their agent and you say, are you interested? They give you some ballpark ideas.
I'd love for that to be refined. Next pause. Right. Hold on.
You some ballpark.
Show me the profile.
Ideas. We now.
Okay. Right. So this is a player profile then already. Obviously they've simulated a long time into the game, or they've just put fake players in. Anything that I'm seeing so far that's new right off the rip? Not really in here, but obviously this isn't the sort of feature that they're actually releasing here. I'm just trying to be like over the top and see if I can see anything else.
Added a next step where.
Okay, so this all still looks the same.
Back a little bit. So say they.
Right, let's just read some stuff. Okay, wants to strengthen midfield, would fail to gain a work permit. At least they tell you that.
You really like a player and his agent's saying, this is the sort of wage they're looking at. And you just know,
okay, that's cool.
For a fact, you're never going to be able to afford that wage. You can now say, this looks great, but we're just never going to come to terms on this wage. And then it depends, you know, on the agent and the player's interest. So you get this little.
So you may be able to knock it down a little bit. That's cool.
Sort of initial sort of understanding, because it's all great going to talk to an agent, but if there's something you know you're never going to be able to hit, it's nice to just be able to say, is there any compromise here that we can do? So again, we've essentially brought that functionality to your own players. If you want to renew a contract,
this guy looks good.
that we can do. So again, we.
I'm trying to catch a roll or something here. Winger, inside forward, inverted winger, rhomboider. It's all the same so far.
Your own players. If you want to renew a contract with one of
Discuss contract with agent. Oh, okay, that's cool.
Agent. And just like external players, they'll give you.
That's a natural progression of this feature, though. To be fair,
for this sort of package, it's like getting the feelers out. That's what we want to make sure that there's nothing like.
And then it gives you. Do you see that, chat? And then it gives you the option to actually offer the contract right here once you've had that discussion, which is great. Also gives you the indication here. The menu, like what it's actually telling you, is pretty cool.
There's nothing like officially locked in here. Okay. This is just a light touch.
Taking them out to dinner, aren't you?
Yeah.
You know, you're schmoozing a little bit. I see.
Exactly.
Nice. I can tell it in your eyes have changed a lot there.
I'd assume so, Jason. I'd assume so.
Feature here because it kind of brings it all back together again, and something you talk about the implementation and impact of agents and how you started there and you've moved it forward. And I think that's the same with a lot of elements of the game. But recruitment meetings debuted in FM21. How are you taking it forward this year?
Meetings are a tough one in general, right? Like real life, any meeting that doesn't have a designated purpose or ends with actionable information, you know, you kind of feel like it was a waste of time.
No, I noticed the SUGMA, Callum.
The less likely you want to go to the next one. So we really tried to think, why should you spend your time in this meeting? What can we do? And specifically with the recruitment meeting, we realised that we have to adapt. And
just a quick second. How many of you skip recruitment meetings and have it sent to your inbox? Because I can 100% say I am guilty of doing that. 100% guilty of doing that.
These recruitment meetings need to be bespoke for the stage of the season you're in. So we broke it down into 3. First thing we're going to do is
enthusiastic goalkeeper. I'm really trying to spot stuff, guys. Really trying to spot stuff. Show me the squad again.
Stage of the season you're in. So
backroom staff introduction.
We broke it down into 3. First thing we're going to do is show you the new planner. This is how it's set up.
Okay. Okay, still nothing that I'm clocking that's new thus far. But like,
you know, just give you an introduction to this.
Free new is what I'm going to call it.
Game that exists, and then the last part of that is here's what your staff think you should be focusing on in terms of recruitment.
You guys always skip it.
Thought so. Set up. Do you want to set up any additional ones yourself? Whereas right now, the very first recruitment you go into, 3 or 4 days into your job, we're hitting you with players you might want to sign. It's a lot to ask, you know, new to the job. So that's why, you know, you're no longer going to get that in your first recruitment meeting. When you finish the meeting, your staff are going to go execute, right? So then a few weeks after that, you're going to get another meeting, which is the review meeting. And that, as the name sounds, they're just going to explain to you, here's how we found, based on the focuses, here's potentially who you've signed, so a focus that may no longer be relevant. And also players maybe you've been trying to sell. Here's the 3 players you've been trying to sell. 2 of them we've managed.
Yeah, to be fair, Mike, that does seem true, but like, how many people don't use that? The like depth chart and the comparison stuff. I bet quite a lot of people don't use that, so putting it front and center is probably a little bit better.
And now you have essentially a very quick update meeting. Transfer deadline days are coming. Let's quickly review what we're still missing. Out of the focuses you've set, we've signed no one. Out of the players you've listed, you've sold no one, right? So deadline day, maybe when you get that news item now, you should probably click accept because we need to maximize. But on the flip side, I've hit everything I need to hit. You know what? When that deadline day comes around, I can happily sit back and sit that one out.
So exciting times when it comes to recruitment.
Even enough.
Be it if you want a bit more chaos or you want a bit less chaos, either way, it's in your hands.
Yeah, for sure. Just trying to give you as much control as you want, you know, to play it your way. Essentially, that's what football managers are.
Not yet, Lazar. Not yet.
Your own story. So we just want to empower you as much as possible to be able to shape that story however you think.
Well, I like that. Match AI, right.
So once you've used all those recruitment
big
tools,
one.
You've got yourself a few wonder kids, a few experienced
Match
pros,
AI and
teams
animation.
together. You want to get
Is this going to look sick or is it going to look the same?
they perform. And so now we move on to one of the GOATs, of course, Nick Madden, who's had a promotion, by the way. Now senior match engine producer, Nick Madden, and lead match QA analyst, CJ Ramson, to talk about the match engine.
Go on, fellas.
So much more. This
Impress
is
me.
it, guys. This is exciting. So stick around. You got a lot of love for the game last year, which is nice, isn't it?
Oh.
How do you feel about that, and what can we expect this year?
Yeah, it was absolutely phenomenal, the reception last year to all of the features and just the amount of players that are playing FM22. We're incredibly proud. so many people scoring a load of goals, sort of tearing up the script themselves. And
𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪, thank you very much for becoming a member, my guy.
again, trying to beat ourselves. It's
Thank you.
so difficult yet so rewarding to work on something that is never finished.
It's true.
We're iterating every year upon the match engine, and yeah, we want to take it to those extra levels.
Up the hood.
So for FM23,
Thanks, man.
we
Hopefully it means goalkeeper animations are better. Yeah, for sure. Me too.
On our AI managers. So
I kind of want it to look better as well.
Manager, we look at every single manager across the world. So we have 1,000 scouts all across the world.
1,000
looking
scouts?
at the different data points of all the managers. So we want to simulate those managers in the best way possible. So we want them to have their tactical style.
You can see why real world football people use Football Manager, can't you? If they've got 1,000 scouts, if you were a lower level team, why would you employ anybody? Just get somebody to sit on FM. I'll go.
How we represent their playing style and overall how they play within the simulation world. Now our AI managers, they can select the right formation, they can select the right tactical instructions to hopefully go into that tactical battle with not just the human manager, but also the other
I'm getting
AI
spoilers in
managers.
WhatsApp.
Wow.
Because we're simulating thousands upon thousands and millions upon millions of matches, all in the background. So we want to make sure that that simulation world is both believable, realistic, and when you're playing in a match, you feel like there's that.
Hopefully it means the game is bugged and the goalkeeper runs out and scores like 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 at West Ham.
But also, you know, that the AI manager is representing what we're getting from the data.
In terms of that sophistication, that's where you come in when it comes to the testing, I would imagine, CJ. How extensive is that? Tell me about your role here at FM.
So the main part of my role within the team is to kind of lead the team in making sure that our testing and the final match engine is as close to real life as we can get. So
right, so this is big. This is big, making it as close to real life as possible.
We watch a lot of real football, obviously in our spare time, casually, but also at work during meetings. We'll have meetings where we watch a full match of football, and it won't just be looking at the scoreline or attacking defensive play. We'll really break it down. So how does this team press? We'll compare a low block to a high press. We'll compare different types
mention of a
manager
low block
to really see, is that reflected in game, and does Football Manager look as close to real life as possible?
Please allow us to play defensive.
Along with watching real football as well.
Oh, okay. So this is just a test, but okay. So the stuff at the top looks okay. Player models look similar thus far.
We also watch a lot of the match engine, not just
is that a Travella
myself, but also as a team. We'll be watching match.
This is going to sound so stupid. I would love to watch the game like this. With the circles and stuff around it, I would love to see that, and like where players are and how they're keeping distance and stuff like that.
Breaking them down and trying to find where we can make improvements from that.
That feeling of it being real is quite an elusive term for you to sort of try and get to grips with and then apply into a game. So in terms of to try and get across that reality from one to...
Pause, new feature noticed. What, on the match? What have you noticed? Go CT, now is your moment. Shine bright like a diamond. What have you noticed? Come on. Names are longer than the...
Watching matches, breaking them down.
Names are longer than the 3-letter abbreviations.
That feeling of...
Good spot.
It being real is quite an elusive term for you to sort of try and get to grips with and then apply into a game. So in terms of to try and get across that reality from one to, you know, a video game, how tough is that for you each year? How much are you watching?
As we're all fans of football, we all know how random football can be. You never know, an underdog can be a big team, or a big team can have 20 shots a game. And
you never want to lose that, do you?
Yeah, I want to say game-breaking now, but, you know.
You can have the high XG, you can have the
graphics look the same.
Score,
yeah, I think so.
Sometimes you just don't win. So trying
to
reflect
so far.
also reflect how some of the top teams play with a variety of styles at the same time. It's difficult to get the balance, but it's something I feel in recent years, and especially this year, we've managed to get looking really good. One of the main things we really wanted to do.
Okay. Again, graphics look very, very similar. Obviously, it looks like they've got they've had Bundesliga licenses already, haven't they? So the match day tablet is still there, tactics and subs.
It was improved the defensive side of the football. As much as everyone loves
That was
to go
good
forward
interception.
and press high and attack, we also want you to be able to kind of sit in a low
I will say this does look like FM22. It does look like FM22.
block and be able to soak pressure and counter attack as well. So you have the tools to be able to defend as well as attack. And one of the main things we really wanted to improve was how teams can soak up pressure and then attack on the transition and attack on the break.
So you're kind of utilising that example of that trend of the
Radu, that would be
nature of it. I mean, that's
Radu, that would actually be really cool, and actually see the tricks and see the animations and put skills in. That would be really cool.
something that's changed with the game. Also, I think I've certainly seen is that there is an evolution of language when we talk about football, and I think FM are a huge part.
No,
of
you
that
can
in
minimise
terms
it,
of
CT.
Understanding how things work, analytics, which is a big part of last year's game. So talk to me.
Pause, says Nav. Go on, Nav. Hit me with what you got. Did the goalkeeper save a shot? Probably. Probably. Yeah, Furkan, that's not new, I don't think.
Talk about football.
I say you can just minimise it, no?
Are a huge part of that in terms of understanding how things work, analytics, which is a big part of last year's game. So talk to me about that, because there are some changes in, one, the wording, but also the defensive tactical instructions
The
as well.
wording?
Yeah, so this year we've added in a lot of more instructions to the defensive side. So
Good.
when our player base, as soon as they load up FM23, they go to the out of possession.
Right, okay, hold on. Right, we go to out of possession. Hold the line there, caller. Oh, I was like, there's new things in the menu, but that's from their testing. Okay. Centre back, sweeper keeper. Not seeing anything different in terms of roles thus far, but he's about to talk about when you're out of possession.
Tactics. They're going to see a change.
Okay. Ooh, okay. Okay, so new features here then. So we've got the prevent goalkeeper, short goalkeeper distribution, get stuck in, stay on feet. Sure, got that. Hold defensive line or drop deeper. That's pretty cool. Okay, this is cool. Play the offside trap, trap inside, trap outside. Again, very cool. Stop crosses, invite crosses. If you've got massive centre-backs, just invite the cross because you know your boys are going to win it. If you've got Virgil van Dijk, just invite the cross and just let him just nut it clear, I guess.
Straight off the bat. The first
Oh, they've changed the word in here, so you can do a low block, which is nice. Anything new here? Counter press? No. Play out? No. Okay,
one
cool.
is really trying to simplify the line of engagement and the terminology that's used, because we feel that
These are nice little animations, so you can really see now where it's being funneled.
it's really hard to get across what a much higher line really is and what that represents.
True.
So we thought, well, why don't we simplify this, but also make it more football specific, make it more the language that you're hearing on television and by real life managers and interviews. So we've gone for that low block, mid block and high press.
Coach Zanquo,
we've
welcome, my guy.
simplified that, but
Thank you
also
very much for
it
becoming a
enables
sub.
The end user of the game to
Tiki
have more
Taka is
control.
back, maybe.
When it comes to the players themselves then, talk to me about that. We're talking about formation and those broad strokes. What about the players themselves?
So yeah, we've made, honestly, numerous of changes to FM23
Good.
search engine and our players' decisions.
Good.
I guess I'll start at the back. So our goalkeepers now, they have the ability to do K blocks and spreads and spread
What?
blocks. So our goalkeepers will
Amazing.
now look bigger, more intimidating in those one-on-one situations.
Actually make saves.
So it's about them
Go on, go
feeling a lot
big.
more natural, playing
Okay,
like
yeah, good.
that goalkeeper that you see, that world-class
You made a
goalkeeper.
save, Nav.
They're also much better with the ball at their feet, and the setups for goal kicks, both short and long, we've had to make a lot of
Yeah, Tom, that'll just be for their testing environment. That won't normally be there.
adjustments and a lot of improvements there. I think the biggest improvement that people will see is how well defenders deal with the ball aerially, and
Okay.
how they look to adjust
Simple
their
header.
position to make that
Were match plans in FM22? Yes. And they're actually quite effective if you're instant result and stuff.
header, the trajectory of that defensive header as well. The main thing that I found like brilliant.
The hair simulator.
Defensive play is not just the pressing, but also the sort of the back pressure. I feel like in previous FMs, like the midfielders or the attackers, they didn't really feel that pressure behind them as much. It feels now that with the pressing, the pressing angles that we've really improved, and also the way that players do tackle.
That's
So
good.
won't
If
just
they
go for
feel
that slide
pressure on the
tackle
back. Oh, okay. This is so interesting to see how stuff is coded. So you can see the stuff that is being added to these players. So obviously you can see the centre-back with the ball here. He's just received it from the goalkeeper. And you can see what the match engine is telling the players to do here. So look, match engine, move to block passing lane. So it's telling him to move over there. Much the same with the other centre-forward, this number 20 here. Again, really, really cool, this sort of being able to see this. It's not a feature. Obviously, this isn't going to be here when the game comes out on the 8th of November. But being able to see this and seeing how the players react because of the coding in the match engine, I find it really interesting.
For leather every time.
See, because now look, this player, they're now in much better positions.
Like they will look to try and can they intercept? Can they block?
Okay, and then it changes here to something more important, which is probably like get in front of your man or something to that effect. It's probably something like a more strenuous command. It's orange, so I can't see it, but that's what it's going to be. So you can see the decision making being made in the match engine, which is cool.
Can they poke that ball away?
Match engine control. What does that say? Control move to intercept ball. So he's seen that the ball could be intercepted and he's gone and won it. That's cool. And then it all changes. Match engine move to mark player on this guy. Nice. It's good.
It's a lot more nuanced. And
I would love to watch the game like this. Genuinely.
yeah, especially with that defensive stability, they look to, oh, I can quickly nip in there. Oh, I'll
Okay, different option again.
step in and get that.
Oh, okay. So they have moved to intercept at double speed. That's good. Seeing stuff like this.
Interception. And
I'm such a nerd.
So yeah.
Okay, so bad interception. If that goes in,
a
I'm
lot more realistic. Like those.
Oh, that is a hell of a
play
finish.
and that like sort of chaotic nature of that like midfield zone. That's what we really tried to replicate this year, is the chaos of football, not just the pretty tiki-taka. Like it is about making the engine feel believable.
As we spoke about the animation engine last year, and I remember your face lighting up as you had to tell me about it. What's happening this year with the animation engine?
Yeah, so talking about the animation engine last year, I was so excited because it was the foundations. Like
Foundations,
the
good.
new engine
Build.
was the foundations for us to
Build.
go forward.
Build.
And this year,
Build.
we have overhauled all of our on-ball actions.
Okay.
So last year, we touched a bit on it with the dribbling first touches. We have overhauled the selection criteria for every single action that you have in the game, on the ball, so that it really looks at anything where it could be.
That was a worldy
the
shot, to be
ball
fair,
incoming
Nav.
speed, the ball outgoing speed, where the ball is coming from, where it needs to go next. Hopefully, our fans will see the kicks now, any sort of pass, finish. There's a lot more variety in there, but also it feels a lot like more
Good finish, near post.
to the
Still yet to
context
see the
of
keeper make
what's
some
going
saves.
on. You know, a player playing it with the outside of the foot versus the inside of the foot. There's so much collaboration with our AI team and the animation team.
Pedro, it's
because,
on
you know,
the
it's
Football
first
Manager
time that
YouTube
I've,
channel, my friend.
You know, as an FM player for so many years, seen a player chest and volley within the same action, like bang, bang.
Good.
And it looks a
touch.
lot more realistic.
I mean, that's a
so
half volley.
proud of,
That's a half volley, but it's
what
fine.
the animation team have been able to deliver, and their collaboration with the AI changes and being welcoming of, we're making these AI changes.
Pedro, I've linked it in the description of this video, bro, if you want to go and watch it yourself.
For me to ask you guys is, with that all in place, what would you say to fans of FM? Can they be excited this year?
It just feels a lot more real to me, and I'm really excited about it.
Our testing team are much harsher than even people in the public. So
I doubt
we have
that.
very high standards of ourselves. So
I doubt that.
we want
The
it to
public
be
are
best for
hypercritical. I
programs.
doubt that. Okay. Official license stuff. This is cool.
FM23 is on its way, as is the UEFA Club competitions being fully licensed in this new game. Danny Quinn, the licensing producer, and Ria Graf, the junior game designer, join me now to celebrate that fact. Danny, talk to me about when you get a new license in FM and what that entails.
Sure. Well, I mean, we've already got 600 odd clubs licensed in the game, 50 competitions.
I
So
don't envy
generally,
this guy's job, by the way.
We have a template to follow when we get a new licenser on board.
Do not
Means
envy
that,
this guy.
You know, we know that we're going to have logos, kits, match balls, tier dressings and perimeter boards, all those sort of things that help make things look more authentic. With UEFA, we realised that if we follow that template, we're actually
As a
quite
tester at a
limited on
company,
what
I
we
doubt
can-
that as well.
can do. Immediately, it was how can we make this special? How can we incorporate this into a feature?
Ooh, this is very FIFA-esque. FIFA-esque team sheet screen. But this is the sort of stuff we're saying about actually experiencing a little bit more. Do you know when the team sheet came out last year and it was a thing and it just looked like a bit of paper? Granted, having worked in football, team sheets do look like that for media and stuff like that. This is moving slowly towards the FIFA element. Hopefully, this is something that they continue and is in all matches, not just UEFA competitions.
Or multiple features.
Oh, look at the Champions League one, chat. Hello, pretty lady. Wowee.
Really,
That looks nice. Does look nice.
Maximise the value, not just for us, but for the
Yeah.
Because there are any other visual elements?
Stuff like that is going to make getting into these competitions much more rewarding and actually make it feel different.
One would be how the players come out. Again, you kind of utilise that music within that. So I'm intrigued to know if that's become a part of it. But I guess that I'm a stickler for trophy lifts. They've got to be done right. And is that, are either of those going to be sort of affected by this?
Yeah, both. So player walkouts, you're looking at the match day props. So things like, you think of the Champions League, you think of...
I'm hoping this isn't like when FIFA did this sort of thing not too long ago, and if they play the Champions League music, I'm hoping creators like myself will not get copyright strikes, which...
The star ball in the centre circle. And that's the same with all of their competitions. We're making sure those included in the
I'm gonna bust.
with trophy lifts.
Oi! Look at that! Nah, to be fair, this people are saying graphics and stuff, and okay, the match engine doesn't look different, but like when you put in stuff like this, it's gonna make, this is for the Conference League, it's gonna make winning the Conference League and stuff like that so much better.
Bespoke trophy podiums for each of those competitions this year, so each of those will look and feel like the real thing.
Lift the trophy, go and stand. Oh, okay, that looks nice. It does look nice.
And then even down to things like sleeve patches. So we've had to incorporate, and this is the benefit as well. We're looking for something that's going to maximise the license and find those opportunities. But some of those extra opportunities trickle into our other licenses as well. So having...
What do you think of stuff so far, chat? Let me know. What do you think? Good, bad?
On the competition,
just let me know with a yes or a no.
Having that feature having that technology available to us, functionality, it means that we can apply that. You mentioned QPR and on your save. If you leave the championship, you'll no longer wear the championship sleeve patch. If you were to get relegated, you'd wear a League One sleeve patch.
I did that.
Yeah. But
if you were to get relegated, unlucky
you
or
still get the Carabao Cup ones. But it's those that making sure that they all dynamically show the correct competition you're in as well.
7 out of 10, mate.
Make sure that was possible for the Champions League. That functionality is there. It's there for promotion, relegation, and even if you are the winner of the Champions League the following season, you wear the winner's sleeve patch as well.
Do you? So there's these like gorgeous little touches, isn't there, that you're just able to sort of...
Good tactic-wise and animation, bad.
That's, I guess, obviously what you
bad
do
everything else-wise.
How's it been working with the UEFA brand?
I mean, it's obviously such a...
I hate how easily they convince me to buy it. I know, Benny, I've already done it. It's already done.
Wants to reach the Champions League when they play Football Manager. So to have the opportunity to take some of that excitement and add it to our game has just been so great.
We were talking about the cup draws before we started filming, and you were saying some lovely stuff about that feeling of celebration and what it will bring this year.
I've already pre-ordered mine, Radu.
So what we really wanted to do was just add a greater sense of excitement, celebration.
If they do balls in a container and pull them out, I will probably bust.
So we really wanted to move away from just a list that appears sometimes in the game and make it a real event.
Show me.
We've made cup draws a full screen experience this year, and we don't just want it to be another feature that you skip away from. So what we did, we added a lot of narrative elements that really connect.
I just saw Juve. Does this mean no more zebra?
The rest of the elements that really...
Pause. No more zebra. No more zebra. Interesting.
what we did, we added a lot of narrative elements that really connected to the rest of the Football Manager world and the rest of your save. So it is something that actually evolves with you as well. So it will reflect your journey and where you started, where you are now, and establish a greater...
Again, I hope this is for all cup draws. I don't want this to, like, I hope the FA Cup is kind of branded in a similar way, even if they don't have the licenses, but allow that feature to carry into all cup draws, you know?
Sense of history throughout. So you will have more context to the competitions.
No team badges still? Yeah. I mean, that's image rights, isn't it? So that's always tough.
To the clubs you're facing against and your own journey.
Go back to that group draw and read the text at the top. Joel Bats, Champions League group stage. Yeah, there's a ceremony host. Hopefully that changes as well.
Another feature that you skip away from. And so again, the ratings and logos is going to be even more exciting.
Yeah, and there's going to be commentary in that as well, so it's text at the top. So again, it would be one where I think in the past there might have been certain FM managers who would have gone, okay,
draw all teams.
I'll just find out who it is or just let it happen quickly. People are going to slow down, aren't they, when it comes to the cup draws now?
I'd imagine so, yeah. I mean, the
100%.
pace of it, it's still your choosing. There will be an element that happens. If you were to leave it, it will happen by itself. But there's also ability to go through at your pace if you're someone that might want to go a bit quicker. But I mean, to mention the cup draws.
It's almost like he was talking directly to me there, chat.
Levels with Conference League, Europa League, and Champions League. I think that's something that separates what we do with Football Manager that might be different to other games where you immediately want to go to the top level and try and do everything.
Evening, Murph. How you doing, bro?
Like to have even your first season in QPR Manager might be a
Hey, as Nightbot's saying, drop a like on the stream. Does help. Helps out in that algorithm. I appreciate all you guys being here watching this live with me, so thank you very much for dropping in, all of you. Thank you.
Is when you're looking at, okay, now it's Champions League glory, but each time it feels increasingly more special, and every level has been sort of catered for as well.
I guess you've played the game as well. How has that felt, playing the game? Does it feel that little bit different? Because I think a lot of people, myself certainly, as soon as I saw that, I was really, really excited.
The visual elements of the in stadium were the big ones for me.
Show me.
Was something that I'm going to be more introduced to this year, because I was one of those users that just sort of skips through it, doesn't worry too much. But now I'm going to make sure to spend time with it.
Future me as a manager, when I hopefully get QPR to that point, I thank you both for that. Thanks for spending the time and chatting.
Hopefully you get to watch this stuff now.
To get into the Champions League.
Okay, supporter confidence.
Fans Make Football,
okay.
And in FM23, their voices are being represented by the new supporter confidence feature. To help me bring a bit of French sophistication and just to explain this whole process is lead game designer Remy. Thank you for sitting down.
Remy.
We've had a chat about all sorts already before we started rolling it, but I'm so excited to talk about this supporter confidence. I
have to say, Alcott's the perfect person to do this, by the way. Absolutely perfect person.
The fans over the years. So it also brings a little bit of nerves.
Show me Joe Bellingham. Yeah, I know, right?
For fans playing the game this year as well. First of all,
Saromi, welcome, my friend.
What the supporter confidence feature is.
Well, Football Manager is very much about stories, right? The stories that you tell yourself, the choices that you make.
Lead game designer. Come on, bro.
But these stories are not specifically about matches, not specifically about players. They're about the world of football. And when the design team really evaluated what was in and trying to amplify the stories that
would be amazing, Lazar, if the whole skin changed.
The rationale here was
that would really give you like an immersive feel of like, this is a big, big moment. Imagine that Red Star Champions League final if it all turned like Champions League colours and stuff like that. Oh my God.
Really work on, and this is what we did. So it was really about making sure that fans were represented in one way, but that would also impact directly the gameplay of the game and your choices.
And visually, literally, you know, as you see it within the game, how did you come up with that visual representation of it?
So in the game, you're going to be able to see the breakdown of that fan base directly on screen. So when you're making the choice.
Paramount, you've missed quite a few things actually. You can rewind my live stream. You can do that right now. This isn't Twitch. You can do that right now.
Type of fans as well.
You think it's somewhat disappointing? Okay, let's have a look again. Okay, so rather than just having like your club vision, you've got your supporter stuff here. PES 11 did that skin change with the Champions League perfectly back in the day. So is this... Okay, so this is specifically what the supporters want. Okay. It's an okay feature. This will not change the game for anybody, I don't think.
You're going to be like really just look at it in terms of...
Okay, now we're talking. The Dortmund supporters group. This is cool. 8% hardcore fan base. Fair weather. 11% fair weather. So you'll see that fill up when you're doing well. 17% casual. Okay, so this is interesting. Lists the rivalries a bit more. Yeah, so you're going to have board confidence and fan confidence as well. So you're also going to see the rivals, your attendances and stuff like that. That's cool for your last match. Finances from gate receipts, that's really cool. Being able to see that like a little bit easier, that's cool by going on the supporters tab. That's cool. Social media followers, cool. That's an interesting feature. Season ticket waiting list. It's good to know that you've got like ultras that will turn up through thick and thin.
Percentages and
even if you're doing rubbish, Amos.
It impacts your gameplay. So the research team tried to be really as true as possible to reality and really trying to capture the essence of clubs, of leagues, and of nations as well.
You are that handsome. You are.
Football have a vastly different cultural impact in different countries. The research team really tried to capture all of these.
Oh no.
Suggestions based.
I clicked in the wrong area, chat.
Really evaluated.
I've messed it up.
As essence country, with the research team really.
I was trying to pause. I'm always looking for new stuff. Obviously, debug club vision. That's not going to be there. I kind of wish there are different voices within the supporters group. That would be cool. That would be cool. You'd assume, Pumpster, this is something that they're going to build on. Do you know what I mean? I'm like really trying now to like see other stuff.
We tried to capture all of these key differences with some parts of the research that will be directly exposed in the game, with the different supporter profiles that you're going to see, and also some behind. Well,
the new features are like the licenses. It is like the squad planner and stuff like that. There is new stuff.
Behind the scene.
In terms of how game changing it is, I don't know. Like, there's a lot more stuff to get you more immersed in the action, which is good.
That we're going to use to base our systems. So, how much of an influence do your fans have on the boards? How much of an influence they have on your job security as well? How patient are they with your choices? How passionate are they with them as well? There are some bits here and there that in the feature team we can use to really build the best and the most interesting features that we can.
I hope those percentages change over time, so you can develop less of a casual fan base, more of a like core fan base. That'd be cool.
This is your first game, right? How do you feel about this in the fact that are you going to make people lose their jobs? That's going to be on you. Are you going to be okay with that this year?
So that's
or will it allow people to keep their jobs?
So that's the two sides of the coin, right? So the fans will have a big say about your job security, but it's depending on that on the club that you're managing. But yes, that's what I'm most excited about. Is that's
not been mentioned yet, LR. I would assume so thus far. If they would have spoken about that, maybe that would have been a key feature, or maybe that's not a key feature. I don't know.
But also, what impact does it have on the actual gameplay, on your choices?
Yeah, obviously I'd imagine that would be a placeholder copy for Dortmund, so that you can just kind of see how it looks without using the same team all throughout the video.
System that we have in the game, right? It's your ability to keep your job, and to keep managing the club that you like. And essentially, if you're ignoring the fans where they have a huge influence on the board, yes, that might put you in trouble.
Dynamic manager timelines.
One of the most visual additions to FM23 is the dynamic manager timeline. 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪, the junior game designer, joins me now to talk through this. As we said, very, very visual element of the game this year. Tell me about it.
Yeah, so basically what dynamic manager timeline is
Pumps was very correct there. A set piece creator isn't exactly a sexy feature. It's probably more for the diehards. Getting the licenses and stuff out there in this type of feature is exactly what sells the game. Will the mobile game be the same as PC? No, George, it's never the same.
We wanted to include the subjective elements. Those are what really define
They are bringing touch back though, right? Which is good.
Elements, and really highlight to a player that every save is unique to them, really.
So what can you expect to see in terms of this element, and when does it sort of arrive within the game?
They've teased this already, haven't they?
In the end of season review, when we kind of talked about it,
Okay, so you can see the season. Okay, a little bit more of a breakdown. It's a little bit more visual. It is nice. It is a little bit more immersive.
Signing a bargain player or integrating a new gen from the youth team. These are the things that really excite us when we're making the game, and we wanted to have a physical representation of that.
So this is a kind of a new way of evoking some nostalgia, I would imagine, because also I guess in terms of if it's 1 year, there's going to be so much that sort of comes.
Very good point. Hopefully, if you could go on and access it, not just in the end of season review, but at certain points throughout your. Yeah, CT, I'm pressing the button on my stream deck. Yeah, so each time you could get to a certain point of the season, if you could see your entire managerial timeline, that'd be so cool for a journeyman. Being able to see it visually represented like that.
Comes at you, but once you've been managing 20 years, I don't know what
LR, yes, very much so.
your PB is in terms of how many seasons you've done on Football Manager, but as that goes along, that dynamic timeline is going to look pretty extensive. What will be included and what won't?
Yeah, nostalgia is a great word for it. I think whenever I'm chatting to my friends about Football Manager, we're not talking about how many times we've won the league. It's always about these special players that you've grown affection for, or the time that you beat your rival 5-0 after.
We've seen Watford, Pumpster.
So those are the things we really wanted to highlight. Those kind of special, unique.
Yeah, they're in the Championship. It's fine.
That you kind of don't really see much in the game. You don't really get a pat on the back for.
There's AFC Wimbledon.
But it means so much to you when you're doing it.
Is the aim really just to kind of offer up a bit of nostalgia and light when you're sort of not in the grind of your FM save, but just that moment to step back and see what you've achieved along the way?
Yeah, definitely. We really want to give that sense of scale. We want to show you where you've come from to where you've ended up, and show you that it's about the journey to get there rather than the actual destination. I think that's what I always look back on and enjoy looking at.
Watford have fake players behind
them. I'd imagine there's memorable moments, but memorable players as well. Who's the guy? Who was the guy in that save?
The guy for me was 𝘼𝙗𝙗𝙪𝙩, who played as number 10. I think he had 18 techniques, so it was just a beautiful player to watch. And this is the great thing about it. When you have these kind of wonder kids who perform miracles.
I don't think they did, LR, did they?
On the timeline, if they're breaking records.
No, Pumpster's mentioned it. You saw his Melisar? Okay.
You see that represented, and you can look back on it and remember where 𝘼𝙗𝙗𝙪𝙩 started from, really.
Yeah, and keep an eye on him, I guess, as well.
Exactly, yeah.
This is lovely, isn't it? I think the dynamic manager timeline, I think it allows us, we've spoken about so much, and you like getting into the weeds of recruitment or AI or the match engine, but this is where we want everyone who's on FM, they want to get to this point where they've got a nice dynamic manager timeline to look at and enjoy those great moments. Thanks so much for chatting with me, Ali. Loved it.
No worries, great.
Okay, we're almost done, guys.
5 key headline feature areas delivered from the studio itself. But it doesn't stop there. The Football Manager team will be providing even more detail on these additions, as well as other improved gameplay areas in the coming days and weeks.
There you go. Other improved gameplay areas. Gameplay areas. There still could be set pieces.
Hub FMFC. So sign up and keep an eye on their socials for updates. Football Manager 2023 is released worldwide on November the 8th. And if you pre-purchase now on PC or Mac, you can secure
done it, James.
20% off and early access. All details are in the description below. Thank you for joining me. I've had a blast and can't wait to get managing.
Go and get yours, guys. There's the old Sega outro. Ultimately, I think that was pretty good. Let me know what you guys think. What are we thinking about the feature reveal? Set pieces, basically. Yeah, it could be. Hope draft and online mode's got some love. Me too. Me too. Saw Cathcart and 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 in the team lineup. Gonna try and see new player roles. Please do. 8% Die Hard video coming soon. Maybe. Ultimately, chat, I thought that was really good. There was some stuff in there that I actually got quite excited about. The UEFA licenses is cool, and the stuff that they've done around that. I just said on Twitter it's an evolution, not a revolution. Yeah. But they've kind of said that, though. They've kind of said, you know, that is what they're doing, really. Like, they said about the match engine last year, and they said about how they're improving it now and stuff like that. So I think it is always going to be an evolution, you know. I'm satisfied so far. I think so as well, 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪. That's actually a very good word to use. Satisfied. Where are the set pieces? Where are the female footballers? Where are the announcement that SI has hired Steve Hood? SI can't afford me. No, I'm joking. I think the new recruitment features, it's alright. It's alright. It's just a different way of using it, isn't it? Mixed bag for me, some good design choices, but the main game stream seems the same. Yeah. There's never going to be a huge overhaul with them adding console. No, exactly. Exactly. But if they take steps in the right direction, then I'm fine for it. Why don't you improve the match engine and become a better one? I mean, they could have arguably done that. Nobody's going to be able to say until you actually get your hands on the game, right? No one's going to be able to say that the match engine is better or worse or the same. Being able to sit and see the breakdown of how the match engine works and how the players in-game are fed information that they did show in that video, I actually find that really, really interesting. I'm disappointed the goalkeeper conceded at the near post. You're always disappointed, Nav. You're always disappointed. Let me know what else you guys would like to see, though. I'm really intrigued to see what you guys chuck up, because it is always interesting to hear what other people in the community have to say, other stuff that's been spoken about. Obviously, I've said about set pieces, adding in a set piece coach, but as someone mentioned, that's not a game selling feature, so you always have to remember that. As 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 said, I'm satisfied right now. This probably isn't gonna make me go out as a staunch Football Manager fan. Natasha, thank you very much for the subscription. Thank you very much. This isn't gonna make me go out and buy the game. I've already bought the game, but as a hardened veteran of Football Manager, this does nothing for me. It's nice to see. It's all the visual stuff. I was getting excited about the Champions League and how they were making stuff a little bit more immersive, because that is also really good. Adding the stuff in for the cup draws, if that is across the board for all cup competitions, even the Papa John's Trophy and stuff like that will get you involved in stuff more, which is great. So yeah, we were lucky the match engine's where it's at. Haven't they worked on this one for like 4 or 5 games? I don't know. Hopefully they say a bit more about it, but please don't strikers score 60 in one season. Depends what the tactic is, man. Just let GYR do his thing, you know. Match engine seems to get small tweaks each edition, but it's a matter of, does something need to be sacrificed for a full new match engine? I think that will happen sooner rather than later. Not this year, obviously, but I think that will happen. UEFA license is an easy sell, especially considering, not so secret, you have to remember that FIFA is losing that. So FIFA is losing that as a thing. That's going to be EA Sports FC whatever it is next year. So the fact that Football Manager have been able to capture that is actually quite impressive. I think FM24 and 25 will be the better ones. Yeah, but it's all building blocks, isn't it? It's like, you know, it's certain stuff like if they've built on the data hub and stuff like that, and they build on some of these features each time, That's the way to do it. I mean, the squad planner is kind of like the key headline, isn't it? The squad planner and then UEFA licenses are kind of the two key things. Obviously, as I've mentioned, like you guys who are sat here watching this and watching the trailer and stuff like that are always going to be wanting more features. You're going to be wanting the set pieces stuff. You're going to be wanting the coaches. Like I mentioned in my video, you're going to be wanting like the commercial director and stuff like that to make stuff that is in real world football just happen in game, because obviously this is the closest football simulation that we do have to real world football. Like, it is the closest. So ultimately, I am satisfied. I think that's been very interesting. I'm glad that they've done it. I wasn't expecting a 42-minute long video, to be perfectly honest. I thought it was going to be in and around the 5-minute mark, if I'm perfectly honest. But I am happy with it. Actually seeing some of the different faces from Sports Interactive actually come out and talk about what they've been working on. I actually think that's really, really good. Thank you very much, guys. I'm going to go and have my dinner because I was not expecting this evening. You guys have been great. Take care, and let's look forward to some more new features. Thank you very much, guys.